Limo didn't dare to ask too much, and nodded hurriedly. "Mr. Wade, don't worry, I will help you keep them safe." Charlie smiled with satisfaction and said, "Then I will leave now." "Mr. Wade, I'll give it to you." "No need." On the way back, Claire couldn't help sighing. "I originally said that I would try to negotiate the list of the convention and exhibition center, and by the way, I would have liked to invite them to the opening ceremony tomorrow. Now it's gone again." Charlie asked curiously, "My wife, is your studio ready to officially announce the opening?" "Yes," Claire said, "after so many days of preparation, it is almost ready to officially open." Speaking of this, Claire said sadly, "It's a pity. I can't invite anyone with a reputation to come to join me. I only invite a few classmates, and then you and your parents will come as well." Charlie nodded, but thought in his heart, "Can't find anyone with a big face to join her." "Husband will help you find one. M Grand Group Mrs. Doris, Miss Song Family Warnya, Chin Family Patriarch Chin Gang, White Family Patriarch Solomon White, Underground King Orville, and Treasure Pavilion's Mr. Bao Fungi. He knows a lot of big people who are among the best in Orus Hill, and they all are at the beck and call of Mr. Wade. Then, as long as he gives an order, they will come over and take care of his wife's business by the way. The wife's studio will surely make a sensation in Orus Hill." Thinking of this, he immediately edited a message and sent in a group to these people on WeChat. "My wife's studio will open tomorrow morning. Please take the time to come over and join us. The address is." After WeChat was sent, Charlie kept receiving all kinds of replies. The first reply was Warnya, "Mr. Wade, don't worry, I will come to congratulate you tomorrow." Then Chin Gang said, "Thank you for the invitation, Mr. Wade, and I will definitely come and join tomorrow." Solomon White said, "Mr. Wade, I will bring in my nephew to congratulate you tomorrow. By the way, let these two little rascals face you in repentance." Everyone was excited about Charlie's invitation, thinking it was a good opportunity to get closer to Mr. Wade. Claire originally had some regrets about the opening ceremony tomorrow, but never thought that her husband had already prepared a grand show for her. Back home, Claire washed and rested early, preparing for the opening ceremony tomorrow morning. Charlie also slept very early, and he was thinking about how to make his wife the most concerned woman in Orus Hill tomorrow. The next day. Today is Claire's scheduled opening day. Because she didn't have much money and was just starting out, Claire rented the company's office address in the slightly remote Wing Star building. Although the Wing Star building is the property of a subsidiary of the M Grand Group, it is really not worth mentioning. The M Grand Group generally does not bother to operate it on its own, so it is leased to some intermediary companies. Originally, Charlie wanted to say something to Doris, asking her to vacate one of the floors of the Wing Star building directly for his wife as a studio address. But thinking about it, he was afraid of explaining it to Claire, so she let her spend her own money to rent a small office. Claire and Charlie stood at the door of the office at this time, waiting for the guests to arrive. Yesterday, Claire sent invitation letters to some of the partners who were in Wilson's house before, and even plucked up the courage to send one to the M Grand Group, but she was still a little nervous and didn't know these guests will come. She lacks strength. If even the opening ceremony is deserted, then the circle will look down on her company even more. Seeing her nervousness, Charlie comforted her, "My wife, it's still early. It is estimated that when the time comes, all the guests will arrive. Don't worry." The scheduled opening time is 10 o'clock in the morning, just after 9 o'clock at this time. It is normal for no one. But not long after, Claire's cell phone rang suddenly. After she picked it up, she found out that it was the phone from the front desk of the building, saying that it was the Wilson family's visit, so let her know in advance. Charlie also heard the voice on the phone and asked in surprise, "Wilson family? What are they doing here? You sent them an invitation letter?" Claire shook her head and said, "I was like that with them before. Why would I invite them over? Maybe they want to see a joke. The front desk said that Grandma came here in person and brought uncle and family. Don't create any conflict. Charlie nodded and said with a smile, as long as they don't look for trouble, I will definitely not go to conflict with them on this happy day. Claire nodded worriedly. Immediately afterwards, she saw old Mrs. Wilson walking over from the outside passage with Noah Wilson, Harold, and Wendy on crutches. Harold, who has beaten up some time ago and caught in the police station, had just been redeemed by the Lady Wilson with money, so at this moment Harold saw Charlie and his face was full of resentment towards him. But Charlie didn't bother to care about him. Today is a big day for the opening of the business, and he doesn't want to have any conflict with them, so as long as this group of people does not go too far, he will not take the initiative to provoke them. Wendy walked to the front, sneered, and said, Claire, you don't even say hello when you see your grandma, are you too unfilial? Claire said indifferently, you have kicked us out of the Wilson family. It stands to reason that we have nothing to do now. Be it starred. Old Mrs. Wilson jabbed her crutches to the ground and said angrily, you are the blood of the Wilson family, so you are born to be from the Wilson family, and when you die, you are also the ghost of the Wilson family. Charlie said coldly at this time, some people speak too much. They said they were kicked out of their homes, and they no longer recognize them as members of the Wilson family. Now they say that they belong to the Wilson family. Is this not too contradictory?